You've been training your chest for months, maybe years, bench press after bench press, week after week, and yet every time you look in the mirror, something feels off. Your arms look bigger, your shoulders look rounder, but your chest still looks flat, still soft, still not filling out your shirt the way it should. And the worst part isn't just how it looks, it's the quiet frustration in your head asking, why am I working so hard and getting so little back? You're not lazy, you're not skipping workouts, you're not avoiding effort. But deep down, you're starting to wonder if something is wrong with you. If maybe your chest just isn't built to grow. If maybe genetics decided this for you. Let me stop you right there. Because the truth is, most people don't have a bad chest. They have a chest that's never been trained correctly. And the system they've trusted for years is the exact reason their chest refuses to grow. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your chest has been stuck and how to change that in the next 8 weeks. Here's the hard reality nobody likes to say out loud. Most work chest workouts don't actually train the chest. They train the arms, they train the shoulders, they train the ego. You load the bar, unrack it, lower it, press it back up, and you feel strong, the weight moves, the rep counts, but your chest barely feels anything. And because the bar moved, you assume progress is happening. But muscle doesn't grow because the bar moved. Muscle grows because tension hit the right fibers in the right position for enough time. If your chest never feels loaded, never feels stretched, never feels squeezed, it has no reason to adapt. And this is where frustration slowly turns into self-doubt. You start blaming your body. You start comparing yourself to others. You start thinking, they must be doing something I'm not. And you're right, but not in the way you think. The first mistake almost everyone makes is turning chest day into shoulder and triceps day without realizing it. If your front delts are on fire every workout and your triceps are constantly sore, but your chest feels untouched, that's not coincidence. That's mechanics. Your body will always shift load to the strongest, most dominant muscles available. If your shoulders and triceps are doing the work, your chest gets robbed, and no amount of extra sets will fix that. More volume on bad mechanics just digs the hole deeper. This is why so many people feel exhausted after chest day, but see no visual change. They worked hard, they just didn't work effectively. The second mistake is setup, or more accurately, the lack of it. Most people lie flat on the bench, grip the bar, and press. No upper back tension, no chest elevation, shoulders drifting forward. This puts the chest in a shortened, weak position before the rep even starts. Imagine trying to stretch a rubber band that's already slack. There's no tension, there's no resistance, there's no growth stimulus. Over time, you get better at pressing weight in this poor position, but your chest never learns to produce force where it actually needs to grow. Strength improves, size doesn't. And this is where the confusion really sets in. I'm stronger than ever, so why do I still look the same? Because strength and hypertrophy are not the same goal. The third mistake is chasing weight instead of tension. Social media doesn't reward slow, controlled reps. It rewards big numbers. So people load the bar heavier, shorten the range of motion, bounce out of the bottom, and tell themselves they're pushing hard. But muscles don't care about your PR. They care about how long they're under tension and how deeply they're challenged in the stretched position. If you've been benching heavier every month, but your chest still doesn't feel sore, pumped, or fatigued in the right way, that's not a mystery, that's feedback, and your body has been giving it to you the whole time. Here's the emotional part most people don't talk about. When your chest doesn't grow, it hits your confidence differently than other muscles. Arms can be hidden, legs are covered, but the chest is front and center. It's what fills out a shirt. It's what makes your posture look powerful or weak. When it's flat, you feel smaller than you should, and that feeling follows you outside the gym. That's why this matters more than people admit. But here's the good news. If your chest hasn't grown yet, it's not because it can't, it's because it hasn't been given the right signal, and signals can be changed. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to retrain your chest to actually do the work, how to set up your presses so the chest finally takes over, how to use range of motion and exercise selection to force growth, and how to structure the next 8 weeks so progress becomes unavoidable instead of optional. Now here's where things start to change, Because once you understand why your chest hasn't been growing, the fix becomes surprisingly simple. Not easy, but simple. The chest is not a mysterious muscle. It follows the same biological rules as every other muscle in your body. It grows when it's placed under enough mechanical tension, through enough range of motion, for enough time, and often enough. The problem is that most people never actually meet those conditions. They think they do, but they don't. And the moment you correct that gap, growth stops being random and starts becoming predictable. The first real shift happens with how you set up every single rep. Before the bar even moves, your upper back has to be locked in. Shoulder blades pulled back and down, chest lifted, slight arch, not to cheat the lift, but to create stability. Think of your upper back like the foundation of a building. If the foundation is soft, unstable, or collapsing, the structure on top never looks solid. When your upper back is tight, your chest is placed in a stretched, loaded position. That stretch is critical. Without it, the chest never experiences enough tension to trigger growth. Most people skip this step, rush the setup, and wonder why their chest never turns on. The second shift is how you move the weight. This is where most people have their first real aha moment. Lower the weight slower than you think you need to, 2 to 3 seconds down. Feel the chest open up. Feel the fibers stretch. That stretch isn't just a feeling, it's a growth signal. Research shows that muscles trained at longer lengths grow more than muscles trained only in shortened positions. When you bounce the bar or rush the eccentric, you steal that stimulus from yourself. Then, when you press, don't think about pushing the bar away from you. Think about bringing your upper arms toward the center of your body. This simple mental cue shifts load away from the shoulders and into the chest. Suddenly, the chest starts working, and you feel it immediately. The third shift is exercise selection. Barbell bench press is not bad, but it's not magic either. For many people, it locks the arms into a path that doesn't match their anatomy. Dumbbells and cables allow freedom of movement. They let the arms travel deeper, stretch further, and squeeze harder. Incline dumbbell presses, deep push-ups, and cable flies place the chest under tension where it actually wants to grow, especially flies. Presses build mass, but flies teach the chest how to contract. Without that contraction ability, the chest never fully develops. This is why people with strong benches can still have weak-looking chests. Here's another truth that hits hard once you accept it. Your chest probably isn't undertrained because you don't train it enough. It's undertrained because it's always trained last, after shoulders, after triceps, after fatigue. When the chest finally gets attention, the tank is already empty. That's not dedication. That's poor prioritization. Muscles grow when they're trained fresh. If chest matters to you, it has to come early in the session, when energy, focus, and coordination are highest. And this is where the emotional shift really happens. When you start feeling your chest actually working, something clicks. The pump feels different. The soreness shows up in places it never did before. You stop guessing, you stop hoping, you start trusting the process. That confidence alone changes how you train. You slow down, you focus, you stop chasing numbers for validation and start chasing tension for results. And that mindset shift is what separates people who eventually grow their chest from people who stay stuck for years. In the next part, I'll show you how to turn all of this into a clear 8-week structure, how often to train chest, how much volume to use, how to progress without stalling, and how to avoid falling back into the same traps that kept your chest flat in the first place. Because understanding is powerful, but structure is what turns understanding into visible change. Now, let's turn everything into something real. Because understanding feels good, but structure is what actually changes your body. This is where most people fail. They know what to do, but they don't do it long enough. They jump from program to program looking for certainty, when the real answer is consistency applied correctly. For the next 8 weeks, your chest needs one thing above all else: repeated, high-quality signals. That means training chest twice per week, not destroying it once and hoping for the best. 2 focused sessions, one slightly heavier, controlled pressing, one more stretch-based, pump-focused session.
This frequency gives your chest enough exposure to learn, adapt, and finally grow. Volume matters, but only if the right muscle is working. 10 to 16 quality sets per week is enough for most people. Quality means you feel the chest stretching at the bottom, contracting at the top, and doing the work in between. If your shoulders take over, the set doesn't count the way you think it does. That realization alone saves years of wasted effort. Progression over these 8 weeks is simple, but not easy. You don't chase weight for ego. You chase better reps, slower negatives, deeper range, stronger squeeze, more control. Some weeks you'll add reps. Some weeks you'll add weight. Some weeks progress will be invisible. That's normal. Muscle doesn't grow on your timeline. It grows when the signal is clear and repeated. Here's what most people experience if they're doing it right. The first 2 weeks feel humbling. You realize how much assistance your shoulders used to give. The chest feels sore in places it never did before. Weeks 3 and 4 feel rewarding. Pumps come faster. The chest feels fuller during the day. Weeks 5 and 6 test patience. Progress slows. Doubt creeps in. This is where most people quit. Weeks 7 and 8 are where it clicks. You stop guessing. You know when a rep hits the chest. Confidence replaces frustration. And that's the real transformation. Not just a bigger chest, but the end of that quiet voice asking what's wrong with you. Nothing was wrong. You were just never given the right system. So here's your challenge. For the next 8 weeks, stop asking how much you bench. Start asking how well your chest works. Lower the weight. Control the reps. Train with intention. Let biology do the rest. If you want more training breakdowns that actually respect your effort and your body, subscribe to the channel. And if this video hit home, leave a comment. I read them all. You're not behind. You're just getting started correctly.